Hey everybody, and welcome back to day 12 of our ScoobQuest series. And I can't believe we're nearly halfway through this series already, but the questions are getting better and better as we gradually get in there. And even hearing your responses in the comment section from the previous videos are really good, because it's a good way to see other people's opinions on certain topics, whether it's a worst episode, a good episode, a bad series, a good series, moments, characters, and that sort of thing. We all have our own opinions that we can share together, and that's what I like about this series, is you could just go out there, and it doesn't matter if you like that series and other people hate it. We're just a community where we can all get along and actually share our voice opinions about certain topics, and that's what I love the most. And the last episodes were fantastic. Today's question is a very interesting one, because the question is a moment in Scooby-Doo where you still don't understand how it happened. That's right, so it's a moment. It could be an episode, it could be a series, a movie, a game, or it could be a moment in those series and episodes that you have to pause and question yourselves, like, why is this happening? Or how did it happen? And that sort of stuff, something you have to stand back and look at another perspective, like, why did they do this? And how did they get approved? That sort of questions. And we all have that throughout the entire Scooby-Doo plot. There's always been that moment where we have to question why that's there, and there are so many, and each one of them could be like, oh, okay, I can understand that one, fair enough. But then there's always that one where you just have to think about it and be like, I still don't understand why they did this the way they did, where they could have incorporated a bit more. So for me, I went with a crossover episode. Now, by crossover, I mean it's a Scooby-Doo related that paired off with another series. So we saw Scooby-Doo and Johnny Bravo. They did a crossover. There's Scooby-Doo and Coach Carradine that's coming out in the next year, hopefully. That's going to be a crossover. There's many other crossovers in Scooby-Doo. It can even be appearances in other movies, like, say, Scooby-Doo Back in Action, where I had a cameo of Scooby-Doo. You can class that if you want, because that still counts. So crossovers can be anything from our series, even if it's a reference or if it just invokes Scooby-Doo and they're pairing off together, then that counts as a crossover. Like Scoob Natural, another good crossover. So you have all these stuff that you can go on, but the one that I went with was Monster Party. And you're probably thinking, what is Monster Party? Because it isn't actually a Scooby-Doo episode title. No. This is from another series that had Scooby-Doo characters. Yeah. And Monster Party was part of the OKKO. Let's Be Heroes. I had to write this down because I always get confused at the OKKO, because I always think it's OKKO, and it's actually OKKO, like knockout. And I've only just picked up that recently that it stands for knockout. I was saying KO. I'm thinking, why are they called KO? Where it's like OK spelt backwards. But then I realised it's KO, so it's knockout. And then the other title of that is Let's Be Heroes, which is, people say it's a girl series, but I say it could be a boy series as well. I've seen a few episodes, so you can take your pick on that one. But I found the Monster Party a quite interesting episode, because when I first saw it, it said it had featured the Ghoul School cast. Initially, I was thinking, alright, so it must have Scooby, Shaggy, Scrappy-Doo all returning around the Ghoul School with a bunch of new friends, crossovering and helping mix out and all that. That's what I got when I read the description of the vibe. It was like a team up between Let's Go Heroes and the Ghoul School gang. But I was completely taken by surprise by how the different approach went, because it doesn't actually include Scooby-Doo or the gang, Scrappy-Doo, doesn't include any of them. It only includes the Ghoul School residents, so the students at the school, at Gruntilda's school. Those are the only ones that will appear in this crossover, and it was a bit mad, really, because I was really like, what the hell's going on? So one of the witches is obviously from Ghoul School in the series. She meets up with her old friends from Ghoul School, and then they all get together and they find out that her life is completely different than what they all thought. And it's quite nice reminiscing and seeing all back together, especially the new designs of them. I was really hoping for a full Ghoul School reunion, you know, with everyone, but still, the episode that we got was fantastic. But I still don't understand how it happened the way it did, and that's where the question comes in, and why I chose this answer, is I don't understand their approach to it. Why did they do it like this? And why did they go with that approach where they just brought only the students together and not the entire teachers as well? Because I think what would make a good crossover if they brought Scooby, Shaggy, Scrappy-Doo, and the entire rest of the people back together in their original attires for a reunion. They could have done something like that, but they missed out on the opportunity and went with a different approach. Like, I get the whole, you know, having your friends over, that sort of thing, after a long, you know, we haven't spoken to you in ages, but it's the fact that they went to a different approach where I still watch back now thinking, what the hell did they do? It's like, it's nice seeing them back, but I was really hoping for a Scooby-Doo Ghoul School reunion sort of thing, because that definitely needs to happen. Like, I was seeing a lot of vibes and that, and I was thinking, you know, this can go either way, so I was really hoping for a positive note. I wasn't saying it was totally bad, but I still don't understand why they went with that approach. But it's not a bad episode. I'm not saying it's a bad episode because I chose it as my answer. I'm saying it's a good episode, but they could have added more to it. They could have indulged on the entire Ghoul School rather than just the students. And so for me, that is why it's my conundrum to choose that as my answer. But yes, please let me know your answers in the comment section below. I love to read them, and I will try to respond to them as fast as possible. And also remember to like and subscribe by turning on post notifications to keep updated with all the latest. And I'll see you next time. And until then, take care.